Hey guys, this is Anirudh, and two things immediately stuck out to me about him. First, he's really detail oriented, focuses on all the small things. And second, he's always thinking about his project. Um, so when I have numerous moments during the program, I thought his project was perfect, and he'd be like, "No, I'm gonna add this thing." I'd be thinking to myself, "That's a really minor thing. Like, I'm not sure if that's worth it." But when he completed it, I realized truly how many things he focused on, built and improved on. And building off of that, sometimes I glance up, check up on everyone, and he'd be glancing, staring off into space. I'm like, this dude's definitely daydreaming now. But I'd ask him, he'd be like, no, I'm thinking about my project. Other times I'm pretty sure he was just daydreaming. But he's really hard, focused on a lot of the details that he's about to demonstrate, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it.
Hi everyone, my name is Anirudh and I go to Mission San Jose High School, and this is my phone-controlled robotic arm and car project. So before I even came to BlueStack, I had a little bit of hardware experience because I'm on a robotics team. But however, I didn't have much software experience, which is what I hope to gain with this project. So my project works based on inputs from my phone, which are then sent to my robot, which moves the servos and motors of my robot. So now I can give you a small demonstration. So for example, one of the inputs that I have is arm up. And that moves the arm up because it sends an input from my phone, the letter A, to my HC05 Bluetooth module. That then sends the letter A as raw data to my Arduino, which then converts it and then sends commands to my servo. So in this case, that would move my arm up. However, I have this to move my arm down, move my turret left, right, opening the claw, and close the claw. Now, one thing that I wanted to add was the functionality of a human arm. And that means picking up items and being able to deposit them. So, even though this arm can do it, it's very, very slow. So what I did was I automated this process to make it just as efficient as a human arm. So I added pickup presets that moves my claw right on top of the object. Then I can just close the claw and then move it up. Now I can just drop off the object, and then it's just like a normal drop off with a human hand. Now in addition to this, since my robot can only pick up around itself, I've added this car that is able to move it around so it can pick up from anywhere. And this car has 4 DC motors. DC motors can change direction based on the direction of their current. And so I have an H-bridge that changes the direction of the current, allowing me to go anywhere I want. So I can move my car forward, backwards, left, and right. Now, apart from this, I added many 3D printed parts to my robot. So, for example, I added these walls that improve the structural rigidity of my robot, as well as these clamps for my robotic arm that keep it down to the chassis. I also added this HC05 Bluetooth module box with the press fit lid that keeps it down to the robotic arm's base, as well as this power switch box that keeps it at the back of the robot. Now, this power switch allows me to turn on and off this external battery pack for my DC motors. Now, throughout this journey, I had a few challenges, one of which was with my H-bridge. My H-bridge, at the beginning, I only connected my battery pack to my H-bridge, and that was a problem because it gave too much voltage to my H-bridge, and it could not handle it. And I realized that I had to use the Arduino's 5 volts regulated power to power the H-bridge while the DC motors were being powered by the battery pack. This problem taught me how to use online sources available and online documentation to help solve my problems. Now another problem that I had was with my buttons. When I pressed the button, it would just move the servo on forever. And I realized that I can use the MIT App Inventor's touch down and touch up button commands that allow me to move it only as much as I want. This taught me how there's always a feature for every problem that you have, and it's just that you have to find the use case and the most efficient way to use them. Now, there's also many other things that I learned at BlueStack. From the first day of learning how to solder to learning Arduino and C++, and also learning how to how to document my own journey throughout this how to document my project from start to finish. It's really been a rewarding experience. Now, if I could add something more to my project, it would be after I pick up an object, being able to store it in the back of the robot, and later being able to pick it up out of that storage and drop it off somewhere else. Now, one thing I really loved about BlueStamp is its flexibility. I was able to go on vacation or or be able to take a break for one day, and also just be able to get back into my project without any hassle. And that's made BlueStamp such an rewarding experience for this summer, and it's such an enjoyable experience to have. Thank you.